In the Roaring 1920s, a time of jazz, flappers, and booming wealth, a man named Nick Carraway found himself living in a small house on Long Island, nestled between the grandeur of mansions belonging to the East and West Egg elite. One of these mansions, in particular, caught his attention, a sprawling estate belonging to a mysterious and fabulously wealthy man named J. Gatsby. From Nick's small, modest home, he could see Gatsby's mansion aglow with lights during the lavish parties Gatsby hosted each weekend, where people flocked to dance, drink, and gossip. Gatsby himself, however, remained an enigma. Rumors swirled about him. Some said he was a war hero. Others whispered that he was involved in shady business dealings. Nick, being a newcomer to New York, didn't know what to believe until one evening when a personal invitation arrived for him to attend one of Gatsby's infamous parties. When Nick finally met the elusive Gatsby, he was struck by his charm and charisma. Yet, behind Gatsby's smile, there seemed to be something melancholic, as though all his wealth and parties were not truly what he sought. Over time, Nick learned Gatsby's secret. All his fortune, all his opulence, was part of a grand, singular goal. Gatsby had spent years accumulating wealth to win back the heart of a woman named Daisy Buchanan. Daisy, as it turned out, was Nick's cousin and lived just across the bay with her husband, Tom Buchanan. Years earlier, Gatsby and Daisy had fallen in love, but the war and circumstances separated them. In Gatsby's absence, Daisy married Tom, a man of old money, arrogant and unfaithful. But Gatsby had never let go of the dream of being with her again. He believed that if he could show Daisy the life he could now offer her, she would leave Tom, and they could rewrite their past together. Nick became the bridge between Gatsby and Daisy, arranging a reunion for them at his own modest home. As soon as Daisy and Gatsby saw each other, the old flame rekindled, and Gatsby believed his dream of being with Daisy was within reach. Yet, as they navigated their affair, the fragility of Gatsby's dream became clear. Daisy, caught between Gatsby's idealized vision of her and her commitment to her life with Tom, wavered. The illusion that Gatsby had built, the idea that the past could be perfectly recreated, began to crumble. Tom, sensing the threat, confronted Gatsby in a tense showdown at a hotel in New York, exposing Gatsby's questionable sources of wealth and mocking his ambitions. In the end, it became clear that while Gatsby had built his life around Daisy, she was not prepared to leave her comfortable life behind for him. The tragic unraveling of Gatsby's dream reached its peak when, on the drive back to Long Island after the confrontation, Daisy, behind the wheel of Gatsby's car, accidentally struck and killed Tom's mistress, Myrtle Wilson. Tom seized the opportunity to pin the blame on Gatsby. Myrtle's devastated husband, George, seeking revenge, found Gatsby alone in his mansion and shot him, believing Gatsby had been driving the car. As Gatsby lay dead in his pool, the world he had built crumbled around him. Nick, the only person who truly knew Gatsby's story, was left to arrange the funeral. Despite the countless people who attended Gatsby's parties, no one came to mourn him, except for Nick, Gatsby's father, and a few others. The man who had spent his life chasing an impossible dream died alone, abandoned by the very people he had tried to impress. In the end, Nick realized that Gatsby's greatness lay not in his wealth or status, but in his unwavering pursuit of a dream, even if it was built on illusions. The novel closes with Nick reflecting on the American dream, how Gatsby had reached for the green light across the bay, believing it could lead him to happiness, yet ultimately finding it forever out of reach. The Great Gatsby is a tale of longing, ambition, and the devastating consequences of chasing an idealized past. Through Gatsby's tragic story, F. Scott Fitzgerald paints a haunting picture of the American dream, one where wealth and status may glitter, but they cannot fill the void left by unfulfilled desires and the passage of time.